Welcome to a New Pace podcast. I'm your host, Leslie Andrew, and today I'm with another artist, a fellow artist. It always delights me talking to people that are creative, people that are making art actively. Cynthia Bailey. So, welcome, Cynthia. It's really lovely to have you on the show.
Hi Leslie, it's lovely to be here.
So,
Yeah,
so we met a few weeks ago at an event. It was sort of a well-being event, and I was there with some of my art, and you were there with your products and everything.
that's
And
right.
that's when I was kind of really struck by, we were talking about different things, talking about some of your experiences and some of your art. And I just thought, actually, we need to have more creative people on the podcast. So the whole idea of today is for us to be talking through some of those ideas that are behind your work and some of the influences and like what helps you to be more creative, I think as a stance. So yeah. So first of all, how are you anyway?
I'm fine. Busy working away, trying to get ready for a market that I'm doing over the weekend. So it's all hands on deck, and my living room's a mess, but it's all part of the artwork, I suppose. The process of getting things out there and being seen.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So that sort of busy being creative and
Hmm.
things all over the place and part of that kind of in progress thing. So
Definitely. Always in
yeah.
progress.
Yeah. So I suppose when we're sort of thinking about kind of art and thinking about sort of products and thinking about all of those sorts of things, we have to start somewhere. So let's just start with maybe a simple question about like, what type of art are you sort of currently making?
At the moment, well, I discovered digital art about 18 months ago,
Mm,
and I've never stopped since because it really fascinates me. Um, I've never studied as an artist. I just have this knack of being able to draw. And but I bought an iPad 18 no 2 years 18 months ago,
right.
and I found a program called Procreate,
Mm,
and ever since then I've just been drawing, following tutorials on things like YouTube. And once I started doing this art, I thought, wow, I'm loving this.
mm,
My whole initial idea was to do surface pattern design because I love fabric
mm.
and patterns, and I found a way of making these patterns using this program. But since then, I've moved on to producing art that ends up on products
Yeah.
such as cups and coasters, bookmarks, that type of thing. And yeah, I've just totally taken to it and never stopped since. So
That's amazing. Just, to find something that you really love doing that feels right for you. And just building on what you said about having not trained like career wise and not done all of
no,
those sorts of formal art education to then actually find something that really fits for you. So
that's right.
yeah. And is there a particular theme that you like to sort of use? I've seen some of your images, but
Well, this is for instance, I produced these on a cards and gift set
yeah.
where I've done different cards
Mm,
with different designs, because looking at these tutorials, you can find so many different techniques, such as the one with the bird in the top corner is
yeah.
like a lino cut technique,
Ooh,
but
okay.
in a digital form, whereas the others are more. I do a lot of floral um, patterns and things like that because
Yeah.
A, I find them quite a lot easier to do than characters. But this is the type of thing that I would do, and these cards have taken off.
Mm,
People say how different they are, and I think, well, I must be doing something right. So,
yeah.
yeah,
It looks like you've got, you're really leaning into the florals and the leaves and having those leaves whilst also
yeah.
the words. I
I
really like
like,
that looks.
sorry, I like the Art Nouveau style,
Mm,
which is a lot of, it is florals, isn't it? Like a William Morris type
mm,
of thing, yeah. So I really like that style. But I do understand that, not everybody's into florals, so you
yeah,
can. I need to sort of um, spread my wings a little bit and try and do other things. Um, but yeah, I just find them quite, interesting to do,
yeah.
and I love experimenting with the colours
Mm,
and blending, and I find it's a lot easier to do for me personally without having to take out a lot of paints and watercolors or acrylics or oils, and I can just do it there on the
yeah.
iPad. Yeah,
So you could just do that. So, you're not having to set things up. You can do like half an hour at some point
that's
or like
right.
sat on your sofa,
Yeah,
wherever.
yeah.
And yeah, that's something that I remember you doing a lot of Photoshop like over the years and
Hmm.
especially at uni. But then, and hearing about Procreate and hearing how sort of like lots of people that do it is pretty popular, isn't it?
It
It's
is, yeah,
quite a
yeah.
well-known like digital program. So yeah, it feels good to be able to just find that. And when I'm looking at your sort of designs and it feels like I'm just, seeing the words and seeing the drawings and everything together. I'm just really curious about how you got to that point of then deciding that we've got all these drawings and everything, and now this is going to be made into a card, or now that one will make it like put onto a mug. How do you sort of, what is your design process?
Um, it depends on the mood I'm in because I do like to design things that can be inspirational. Especially because of my background, I found that there's not many things out there for somebody like me, um, with being a West Indian. So you don't find many cards. So I've
Mm,
I've tried to do cards that are inspirational in that respect. Um, I'll just see if I can share one of these.
yeah.
Yeah, because we don't seem to find as many inspirational type of things. So
Mm.
I've created these what I call the UR series, um,
Oh, wow.
featuring female. Um, I do have some for men, but I haven't got a picture here. But and boys, and I've just put different words to inspire
Yeah.
because I don't know. I just don't think that we seem to get enough inspiration sometimes as a black person, and
Mm.
my my title is Black Lass Creative Crafts, so that's what I call myself
Yeah.
because of my West Indian roots and my Yorkshire roots because I was born here,
Yeah.
and obviously the crafts. So I just feel sometimes there's just something missing. Um, so I tend to try and do things that are inspirational, and not just for the black community. I also do some bookmarks
Mm.
that have, excuse me, that have empowering women,
Yeah.
like her story
Oh,
is,
yeah.
yes, is history.
History. It's her story.
Yeah, it's just to try and promote some, inspirational things for women, for black people. And then, people have said to me, "Oh, I haven't seen anything like this before." So I try to keep on that sort of route if I can.
Mm.
But then I like to do other things as well, but not, I just think sometimes we just need to have a little bit of inspiration and other things. So
Yeah.
just a bit to make it a bit different from everybody else.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And I'd imagine I'm just looking at, when looking at those cards, and you've got the silhouette, and then you've got kind of those very empowering words.
Hmm.
So um and depending on what the card is, that could really matter. So kind of really being like lifted up
Yeah.
when, like, for a birthday, or being like really, a thank you card that kind of really inspires and empowers, rather than like looking on the shelves at a supermarket or a card shop and thinking, actually, there's nothing that really speaks to me. There's
That's
nothing that
right.
really, yeah, because is that what you've maybe noticed when
Yeah.
you've like looked at things yourself?
Yeah. I mean, they are trying to get a little bit better. The major card companies, they are trying to do a little bit better. But and if you go somewhere like London, there's probably loads of places where you can buy, but not in Yorkshire there isn't,
Mm,
Um, I mean, I can tell you this tale about last year. I was at a market, and a little girl came with her dad, and she was a little white girl, and she looked at the card for the little black girl, and she says, "Oh, Dad, let me get one of those for." I think a friend was called Ebony or something like that, and she says she looks just like my best friend, And I thought, oh wow, that's
yeah,
that just goes to show that anybody can buy those cards because you've got a friend that you could give that to and to encourage you are outstanding. I've put on one of them, so to give that to a friend,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
because there's lots of, times when, I mean, we hear it talked about so much more these days. I don't know if you kind of notice more of, attempts to, children that are saying, well, there isn't anyone that looks like me. And I'm going to give the
mm,
example of Barbie. So Barbie being pos positioned and sort of showing up in a certain way.
yeah.
And when I was a child, I didn't have Barbie. We had Cindy, and
Oh
it was
yes, me
very
too.
different.
Yeah, yeah.
And then recently, I think maybe last year, they came up with an art therapy Barbie.
All
So
right.
the art therapy community was saying this is amazing. It's nice to have some representation.
Yeah.
And then have the rest of the half of the art therapy community was saying, hang on, they don't really show us as we are, or that
Mm,
it feels very stereotypical. It feels quite raw and crude. And I'd imagine that it could be quite, it's quite an individual thing, isn't it,
it
to
is.
represent somebody and to kind of
Yeah.
get that narrative right, and to be able to sort of go, actually, that really reminds me of my friend, and
Hmm.
for that to feel like really empowering, and like seeing somebody in the movie that, like, this, I want to see someone that looks just like me in a film, and then I'm inspired to be in that film.
Well, I always looked at growing up. I always looked at it. You'd see. I mean, there's a lot of backlash at the moment about seeing black people on adverts,
Okay.
and I just think to myself, well, why is it such a thing? Because growing up, I never saw people like myself in commercials for
Yeah.
makeup and things like that. You know, and recently there was something on about somebody complaining about too many black faces in adverts. Uh,
Right.
and it's just thought you think to yourself, well, why is that such a problem?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's why I like to sort of try and represent um other people,
Mm.
other races, and just because I've got an example of the bookmarks that I do.
Mm.
I'll just share that.
And being an artist is so important to be able to express yourself and express what matters to you.
That's
So,
right.
so this is what I'm picking up here, Cynthia. just it's really it's not about the image itself as such, and aesthetically I love your images. Aesthetically there's something really powerful about them, but what feels stronger is those messages. And
That's right.
I'm seeing here like some really powerful images. Can you talk me through these?
Well, the one with the ladies, I did that for a, a fair. Well, it's a poetry called it's sister verse they call it sister verse, and it's in its third year now, and it's in Bradford at the City Library. In
Oh
fact,
yeah,
it's on at the 7th of December,
yeah.
and it's a female only event, and they put on poetry, music, dancing, and I decided to do those with the ladies. Her story speaks volumes because that
Mm,
what on that day, particular day, they were talking, reciting poetry about all sorts of topics. Um, I like to encourage children to read,
yeah,
yeah, because nowadays it's more on the tablets and things, isn't it? So
yeah.
So that's why I did those with the little, with children, books helping you to reach your dreams because
Mm,
I was an avid reader as a child. So
yeah,
and I suppose a lot of these are experiences that are coming back from when I was young anyway. So
mm,
it's trying to bring back some of that, and hopefully it resonates in today's world.
yeah.
So yeah.
And what I'm hearing as well is the difference between reading a book, a physical book, and
Mm.
having a bookmark that then places that in, turning the pages
Yeah.
and bookmarking where you are,
Yeah.
compared to sort of digital on a Kindle and or audio.
Yeah.
And I either do sort of a paper book or audio, say listening to it in the car. I've never really got on board with sort of Kindles, but this makes me think about sort of drawing compared to something on a screen, and
Mm.
actually both are perfectly valid. So it kind of really makes me think about sort of you creating something digitally and then it being used in a very solid, concrete way.
Yeah.
And I like that kind of unison of it, like doing both
That's
things.
what I like. The fact that something that I've created ends up on an actual product
Yeah,
that can be used day in, day out, I kind of find that really weird in some respects. But
yeah,
the fact that somebody's bought something that I've done, because when I go to the markets, I do tell people that it's all original art.
yeah, yeah,
It's not something that you can just go into a supermarket and buy off the shelf because unless I get some sort of licensing deal, they're not going to be on the supermarket shelves or in the shops because I just do everything from home. Um,
yeah,
so it's telling people. I always tell them that you won't find this in the shops. So
yeah.
yeah, that helps with the originality.
Yeah, and you know you go into these market stalls like these events and like telling them there. Where else can they be bought from? Have you got a shop online or anything like
I
that?
haven't. That is, I think next year is the thing that it's something I'm going to look into because people keep saying to me, "Have you got a website?" And I keep, no. I had sort of thought about it, and I thought, well, should I go down the Etsy route,
Hmm.
or should I look at Shopify? And it's been like, you hear, maybe I'm researching too much into it, but you hear so many different things about disadvantages about going on Etsy and or doing this, that, and the other. And I'm thinking, I can't get my head around it at the moment. So
Yeah,
I think definitely I'm going to try and next year do do a shop or something like that. Yeah,
yeah.
a website.
I think you're right that actually it can be so overwhelming to
Hmm.
think, do I put it on there? Do I do it on there? Is
Yeah.
it just, is it fulfilling me enough going to sell places in person? Does that
Yeah.
feel like, you know, even if you weren't selling any of your art, like to
Mm,
me, that it's about the creation. And so
yeah.
my art therapist hat, when I'm wearing my art therapist hat, I'm very much about the messages that you're giving and everything. When I'm wearing my sort of business hat and my, artist hat,
Yeah.
I do start to think like, where else could you be making these and sorts of things? Or how else could you be getting that message out? Do you
Yeah.
think of thing?
Well, the thing is, it takes me all my time to do a reel on Instagram, so I don't know. I think we're trying to work that out, sometimes I think, oh my goodness, surely there's a quicker way.
Yeah, this is the thing. And
Yeah.
sometimes you see people that are kind of super wizzy
Oh,
and
they are.
appearing to kind of be doing all of these things. But like the thing with your stuff is that, like you said, two people, you can't see this in the shops. These are
Hmm.
unique. These are that they're individually made.
Yeah.
And if you went to Paper Chase or some other craft and art shops are available, you
Hmm.
went somewhere like that or online and you kind of look to see them, you won't be able to get it as a mass produced thing. So that's why it's so special, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I must admit, because I not only do the artwork, but I do sewing as well. So it's quite I find it quite amusing sometimes, and I see somebody. Must admit, I have to tell you this one. I did another market a couple of weeks ago. The lady bought some things off me, and she said, um, "Oh, I bought this from a lady before," and she brought out this card holder that I'd sewn, and I says, "I know where you got that from. I made that." And she
Oh,
says, "Oh my goodness, it's you." She says, "Everybody asks me where I got it from, and they all say, 'What a good idea.'" And I says, "Well, I've not made any of those card holders for a long time, but I might now have to start doing some because but to see somebody come back and actually buy something else and also have something that she I think she bought it last year and she's
yeah.
using it over and over again. I find it sort of like, is this really me,
Mm.
It's quite mind-boggling, really.
Yeah, so you may be quizzing it, maybe not feeling like they're reveal, but what are the
Yeah.
feelings that come up? Like, what's the emotion?
I find it I don't know, it's hard to put into words, really. I just, because like I say, I'm not a trained artist. But people must see something in what I do. Um, and I mean, one lady bought seven of my cards called Besties for Life. I've got on it,
Oh, I love that.
and she bought seven of those in one go. And after she'd gone, I sat there thinking, did that really happen?
Mm,
So I've got to get into my head that, yeah, it's okay to think that your things are okay to buy because people wouldn't buy them otherwise. you know. But
yeah.
it's just sort of like thinking, especially when trained artists come up to my stalls, and I think, oh, don't look for any mistakes or anything like that. But I realise now that every artist is different in what they do, um, and they can appreciate what somebody else does.
Mm,
So
yeah.
it's just getting my head around it though.
Yeah. And it as you were speaking in that way, I was thinking about um the word, like the idea of imposter syndrome and
Yeah,
comparing yourself to sort of people that are like maybe gone to art college or something like that. But
yeah,
then actually, like, that's in the same sort of breath, all artists have that sort of inner, we all as humans have that inner critic, don't we? And
yeah,
artists are probably are we as artists, this might not apply to everybody necessarily, but generally speaking, artists are like more sort of critical of our own art than
right.
we see other people saying, you're like, oh, actually, oh, I love that design, and you really can really appreciate it 'cause like the work that's gone into it, and you
Yes.
what what is like to kind of to edit something, just a small thing
Hmm.
digitally on Procreate isn't the same as like it's not kind of a 2 second thing. It might take longer. Is There's those minute things that happen.
That's right.
So we can recognize the skills, and yet actually we might then kind of go, oh, how are people liking my art?
It's weird. It's a weird thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and I don't think that that's whether you've been to art university or anything like that. I think that's across the board. I've met lots of people that have
Oh,
had
well, I'm not the
jobs
only
off.
one then.
Yeah, yeah, like, and people kind of, oh, why do people even like my art? And
Mm.
it's because, look, imagine if you're looking at your art all day and working on it, it gets not, it's maybe becomes easy in some ways, and
Yeah.
it's maybe having that thing of something that's easy to you doesn't take the value away from it. It's just because
Mm.
you've seen it a lot, you've seen those patterns and you've seen those leaves, and you kind of actually, but it's fresh. When everyone sees those designs, they're fresh and
Yeah.
they're like really impactful. So
Yeah. Well, I'll
I
take
really
that
like
on
them.
board.
Yeah, yeah. So what like you were saying about your mugs. I've
Yeah.
seen them. I've
Oh,
seen the mugs. I've seen the
let's see
coasters.
my
But
mugs.
could you share? Have you got any pictures of your
I've
mugs to
got
share?
this is set of mugs where I've done fruits
Oh
on
yeah.
them. Yeah. And they come with a matching coaster as well.
Mm.
So this is like a watercolor
Oh yeah,
effect
they're lovely.
on the mugs. Um, so yeah, and like I said, they come with the matching coaster, and these have got the color. You can see the color inside, so they all match. I do. I'm not sure if I've got the.
And coloured handle as well.
Yes, yeah. Now you can just see a
Yeah,
couple more mugs there with the coaster. And once again, I've done like an inspirational "Let Your Light Shine"
yeah.
wording on it as well. So that's those.
Her story speaks volumes.
Yeah, yeah. And there's some of the little purses there that I've made and a set of cards. So
Oh yeah, interesting. So they're like you've got kind of very different styles there, then haven't you? Like
yeah,
with the
I think that's what I do like to look at different styles. And like I say, I follow tutorials
yeah.
online and then put my own spin on them.
Mm. Well,
Because that
nowadays it's such a good way of learning, isn't it?
it really is because before you'd have to maybe go to the library and find things on,
Yeah,
you know. But yeah, this is I like to sort of look at the tutorials online and just see what there is, and because it with the Procreate, there's so many different techniques. You can do watercolor, you can do oils, you can do acrylics. So it's learning how to do all those.
yeah.
But I love watercolor, I must admit. I really do enjoy
Mm,
doing that. So I follow quite a few techniques on there
mm,
on online just to learn how to do watercolors. So
yeah. And do you think that that sort of thing has maybe made you kind of learn those techniques so that then you can choose rather
yeah,
than yeah,
yeah, because you could go on forever, couldn't you? Trying to learn different styles.
yeah,
Um, I think I do gravitate towards like watercolors mainly. Um, but then I'd love to learn how to do characters better
mm,
as well. So that's another thing I'm aiming to do because like the cards sometimes it'd be nice to put a character on the card.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just see how we go. Yeah.
Yeah. So that balance between sort of doing the things that you enjoy and doing that
Yeah,
feel like they're working, and also building your skills further and
that's
developing
it.
it further.
Yeah. I like to push myself and
Yeah.
see how far I can go
Mm.
with like you say with the different techniques because for a quite a fairly cheap app which
Yeah.
Procreate is you know you can get actually you can get quite a lot out of
Mm.
it. I mean, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm bigging it up there, Procreate.
Yeah. It's like we don't have any like sponsored links or anything like
No,
that
nothing
to
like that,
Procreate, but
nothing like that. I
if
just love
only
it.
we could we could get a penny for every 50,000
Couldn't we?
views and views that
That'd
we
be
have.
brilliant.
So I would just want to speak to you a little bit about this kind of becoming creative
Mhm.
after, like what it might feel like to sort of to be creative and to be an artist and make stuff when you your career path isn't creative career. It's doing
No.
something very different. And I'm curious about, were you dabbling with art making before that or during that, or is it something that's come completely new?
When I was young, I did used to draw. I used to copy, you know, comics.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
used
yeah.
to buy a comic my dad used to give me some money, you know, pocket money. I used to go get a comic every week, you know. So, and I used to sort of sit and draw comics and stories, that type of thing. But over the years, no, with I've had so many different things that I do, creative wise. So drawing was sort of like put on the back burner. Then as you get older, work gets in the way, life gets in the way, and but I suppose in between I did not, you know, I did buy some watercolor paints and I did dabble a little bit,
Yeah.
um, but nothing to, you know, nothing that would say I'd do it all the time, and try to get better and better because I just didn't have the time.
Mm.
But then I retired, didn't I? So COVID came along and I
Right.
retired. So I had to find something to do.
Yeah. So was that kind of pivotal point then, retirement and
Yeah,
COVID combined?
yeah, I think so because I've always done something creative. It could be knitting, it could be sewing, um, painting furniture, you know, doing stenciling, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, and over the years, I did a lot of knitting. So I suppose there wasn't any time for art. I
Mm.
played music and piano, so I've always done something creative. I've never been one to sit and not do anything.
Mm.
Um, but then, yeah, for some reason I started getting more interested in art. I used to go um, to like art galleries um, I started learning about Pre-Raphaelites
Mm.
and then and William Morris and all that. So and suddenly sort of took hold of my brain and oh, I like the look of these, and I like that period of the Art Nouveau.
Mm.
And then once, like I said, once I got the iPad and then downloaded the app, that's when I really started to sort of like think, oh, quite like this,
Yeah.
you know. And yeah, I've been really enjoying it ever since. So
Brilliant. Because like it feels like you've always had, because I always think this, that people are creative, but they just don't always water it, sort of thing. Let
mm,
it grow, let it shine. And it feels like you've done a lot of those things throughout your life, times
yeah,
when
I
you've
have.
been in and out of it, but
Yeah,
then it's not necessarily taken or been a big amount of time taken for it because you've been working, other
yeah,
things going on. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
The only other time I ever did anything like this was my sister and I, we used to do a lot of knitting, mohair, cardigans, coats, you
Mm,
know. and we did used to sell them locally.
Yeah,
That's like back in the um 80s, around that era, when
yeah,
mohair was quite big.
yeah.
So yeah, so we did, to this level, going to markets and things like that. We did do that, but then after a while, that fashion went and fizzled
Mm,
out. So so yeah, so
yeah,
this is like going back into that sort of thing, really, but in
yeah,
a different way. Yeah.
yeah. And it's doing what feels right for you in the
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
yeah, and I enjoy going to the markets because it's like we met there at market, didn't
yeah,
we? So and meeting other creatives, because I
yeah,
think it's lovely to be able to speak to somebody that's as crazy as you are, So we're
yeah.
just like, we're all the same, aren't we?
Absolutely. And I think one of the reasons as well why I thought I wanted to invite you on the podcast was that I was there sort of with my art and talking about art therapy. And so I was saying about art therapy, but then my art is kind of like individual producty things that's
Hmm.
rather that, but then when I'm seeing your things, it's kind of really about the message. It's
Yeah.
really about like it's there's the aesthetics are there, of course, but
Hmm.
it's more about that empowering sort of image and the well-being behind it,
Yeah.
and you know, improving people's confidence through having imagine reading that like every time you pick up a book, you've got that almost like that affirmation on
Yes.
your
Yeah.
bookmark,
Yeah.
like if it's really being drilled into you and that so that art and well-being touch
Yeah.
really resonates. And I think it's hard to kind of find your place in those markets when this is just my reflection really.
Mm.
There's well-being, there's mind, body, soul well-being events, and then there's the creative craft events.
Yes.
Actually, somewhere in the middle is where the sort of inspirational art comes in and where this sort of art therapy comes in, and
Yeah.
definitely where I saw something from that.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I just feel that we live in such a crazy world, don't we, at the moment?
Mm,
And now and again, it's just nice to have something saying something to you that just makes sense, And yeah, I just like to inspire people.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that's how it is.
And say like if you were to um I suppose with your journey in mind, with getting back into sort of doing something and dedicating and prioritizing time for this,
Mm,
if you were speaking to someone, if you met somebody who'd said, actually, I've not made any art since I was at school, or I've always wanted to do some art, or I've always wanted to get my kind of knitting out and carry on with that, or do something, but I just don't know where to start, or
hmm.
I'm just not sure whether it's right for me. I feel like I'm not sure I should. What's things would you be saying to them?
Well, I think nowadays, because of social media, it's easy to get back into that sort of thing. It's easy to get out there. You can join groups with like-minded people. And like a lady today said yes, sorry, Tuesday said to me that she was going to do her first tabletop
Hmm.
sale, because she does sewing. And I said, great. And if you want any advice, I'll send you some links to places that advertise, local community centres and that kind of thing, and see how you go.
Hmm.
Because there's so much out there that I didn't realise, because I was working a lot. You don't have time to realise how many community event places. In fact, on Tuesday, I'm going to go to our local community centre to do an art journaling
Oh, lovely.
course for three weeks, I think. Something I've never done before, but I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. Once again, here I go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and I would advise people just to really get in touch with community, um, uh, local community leaders and see what's going on in their area. Because where I am at the moment, there's a lot of there's at least three community centres
Mm.
nearby, and each one of them are doing so many different things: cooking, sewing, art, you know. And also, another thing I do go to is a lovely friend of mine. She has a crafternoon.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she has a crafternoon every month. I
yeah,
can't always get there, but every month there's something different. They do something different, and it's just a group of people just come together, and she's lovely because she just opens her house so up and will bring things and just get together and just do um a different theme every month.
yeah,
And I think, something like that is nice because there's no pressure, you know. And once again, you're learning from other people.
yeah.
So, yeah,
And you've got that social part as well,
exactly. Yeah,
coming together, whether it's like in person or there's a lot of online things. I
yeah,
know
yeah,
I do the online
definitely.
workshops sometimes, but there's a lot. So
There is.
that makes me really feel a bit like that message of get on with it. You're not alone. You can join in with things. You can
Yeah,
learn stuff.
yeah,
You've mentioned those tutorials
yeah,
already about
yeah,
how that's something that you've leaned into.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that feels really helpful because I think that there's lots of people that would maybe sort of go, I really want to do it, but I just don't know where to start. And
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, they're really good.
Yeah. But like I said, just going on YouTube is in itself, you can just learn so much from
Yeah,
other creators because thankfully there's some lovely creatives out there that want to share their knowledge, you know. So not sure
yeah.
I could do that, but there are
Well,
some, you know.
you're doing that right now. Sharing your images, sharing your wisdom, and sharing those sorts of things. So you never know who you're going to inspire, really.
Well, that's true.
Um, so I was so recently I've been trying to get back into sort of going out running, and I haven't really built up to the running yet, but doing a lot more walking. And I
Yeah.
used to do a lot of running, and I was using rejoin the gym as well, using this same thing between art, creativity, and the gym, and some
Hmm.
fitness and exercise, and that same analogy of I hear a lot of people saying things like, well, there's no point doing that art unless I'm going to be able to sell loads of art, make a living of it, and do loads and loads of stuff. And actually, no, that's not the case. You can do it because you enjoy doing it because
Yeah,
it's really good for your well-being. Because you might sell a few pieces if you put them out there.
exactly.
You don't have to make like millions from it. In the same way that you might not get to the Olympics, but it should
Hmm.
not be going for a walk.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that we often like really go down the extremes,
I
sort of
mean,
thing.
I've never had the intention of thinking, oh, I'm gonna get out there and make millions because I know that's not gonna happen.
Mm,
Um, every sale is a bonus, obviously.
yeah,
But I think to myself, well, I'm doing it because it's for me. I like, it's for my, like I say, for well-being, really.
yeah,
Because you, there's so many other things going on around that if I can just get on the iPad and get in my zone, you
yeah.
can forget, can't you, for a little while? And yeah, if you can make a passive income out of it,
Mm,
then go for it. But I just think I just enjoy meeting new people, and if somebody comes along and says, "Oh, I like that. I'd like to buy that." Yeah, well, that's a bonus. But I'm not gonna be moving house to a mansion anytime soon, I don't think.
yeah, but you
Being
never know,
realistic.
do you? And you could say never, right?
True.
But then you're being realistic,
Yeah,
and
you've got to be
you,
realistic. Because I mean,
yeah,
anything in the creative world is so hard. If you're a musician, it's hard. if you DJ like my son does, it's hard. Um, so anything in the creative world, I do find it's hard. It's all about you might be lucky, and somebody takes a chance on you and thinks, right, we'll see how well this can go. But I personally, it is a hobby. It's not anything where I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to be this fantastic artist. I can do this. I can make
Mm.
a fortune. It is just a hobby, really, you know. So
Yeah. But thank goodness you are putting yourself out there, going to the events and everything, or we wouldn't have,
yeah,
we've never meet. So yeah. And I think actually part of that kind of, like you said, about going to the different community groups and
yeah,
seeing people at those, that to me is about different artists being united.
that's
And
right.
you can't have too many artists
No,
in the world.
you've got
Like,
to have lots of artists in this world.
yeah, exactly. So before we finish, like it feels really important to maybe just check in with you about where people might be able to sort of find your work. You were saying before about not having a website, things like that, but like would you send people to social media maybe or
Yeah, when I've got if you go on Facebook, I go by Black Lass Creative Crafts,
yeah,
and similar on Instagram as well. So that they're the only two places that I am at the moment.
yeah,
Um, but eventually, I think hopefully get a website going at some point. You know.
yeah. I mean you're like I mean y- yeah, artists care more about the making of the art than the building the
Mm.
website.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Yeah,
Well, I've built websites in the past, to be honest, but it's just time, just
yeah,
time, and knowing which to go because it has changed a lot.
yeah.
Because I'm wanting if I'm going to build one, I want one that's a shop basically, and not just a general website. So
Mm,
it's learning how to do that. But yeah,
yeah,
I think eventually that's where I'm going to go because there's certain things that I can post out, because I can print my cards from home now. Before I used to have to send them off to be printed, but I bought myself a decent printer,
yeah,
so I can do that from home now.
yeah.
So yeah,
Good.
nice.
Right, brilliant. So thank you so much for sort of coming on.
Well,
I
thank
just
you for
want to
having me.
like I just before we do finish, I just want to kind of ask a couple of sort of quick fire things that are
Yeah.
maybe not related to your art, but just a bit for fun.
Okay.
So, mountain or the sea?
Oh, mountain. I can't swim. Well, I
Oh,
can. I
okay.
can, but not very well.
So yeah, being on the mountain.
Yeah.
Coffee or tea?
Tea. Tea. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sunrise or sunset?
Oh. Now I saw the
Don't
most
want to have to
be
choose.
no, I saw the most beautiful sunset. I went to California 2019.
Ooh,
I saw the most beautiful sunset when we're flying back, and I'll never forget that. So yeah, sunset.
yeah. Dog or cat?
I had cats growing up, but I do gravitate towards dogs now.
Mm,
Dog, yeah, dog.
yeah. What else did I have? I had some of these things in my head, but then I sort of gone. But yeah, things like that. But say art or craft.
Don't make me choose.
Both. Yeah,
At
yeah,
this moment, art.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, that's
yeah.
taken over.
Because that's what you were saying. Yeah, it feels like art's overtaken.
Yeah,
Like that's the tortoise, and
yeah,
then all the crafty things is like still
yeah,
there,
yeah. It's
but
still there, but art at the moment. Yeah,
yeah.
so
Okay. So thank you so much. I'd just like to ask those sorts of things because
that's
I think it'd be
fine.
quite fun, really. But thank you so much for coming on, like, and
Oh,
doing this podcast.
hope it's helps somebody out there. So
I'm sure it will. So that my whole intention of the whole thing of setting this up is that you know, the idea of stepping to a new pace is that people at different stages in their life and different experiences in their life change what they're doing.
Yeah,
So, like, retirement's maybe like a significant one for you of changing the pace
that's
and
right.
changing how much time you spend on your art stuff, and
Yeah,
or whether whatever it is, lots and lots of different things, and stepping into a new pace and taking time to kind of talk about those things, but not just like, and talking to real people.
yes,
And
yes.
I'm not coming on saying, hey, look, I'm really successful and these are the things that you do. Like,
Mm,
I'm navigating stuff myself and
yeah.
working through those things. So it's working like with that, just normal conversations and feeling like inspired by all of that, because I love seeing all your art,
Well, thank
and
you.
it's so nice to be able to kind of just think about like the ideas behind it.
Yeah, okay.
So thank you so much. And
That's
thank you everybody that has either watched it on YouTube or listened on Spotify or Apple's podcasts. And if you are feeling like any sort of nudge to create, having listened
just
to this,
just create.
go ahead and create. Absolutely.
Yeah,
You do not need to have everything all lined up perfectly. You don't need to like tidy up before you start making art. Just do it.
just get
Like,
on with it.
yeah, just you don't need to have everything perfect. You can kind of do even a 5 minute doodle. You don't have to have a style. You can work, you can change, you can watch tutorials, anything goes. So yes, thank you so much. Speak
Thank
soon.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.